today is just the best day. I got out of school at 9:45, and then at my internship, for those of you who don't know, I intern with a lawyer. It's a class I take at school, and I shouldn't have walked there. One sec, just ignore that's there. And I got to leave that at like 3:30 instead of like 4:05 even, 4:55, and so I'm just getting out of everything all kinds of early today. That's awesome. Anyway, where are you going, Django? Iodum asked us to wait. Did you forget? My bad. We're going to need to work on your memory, Django. We can delay our departure a little longer. Let's wait. Thank you for waiting for me. As you no doubt have guessed, I need to speak with you about Lemuria. Yes, the islands of the ancients far out to sea. When you could not find Trina, you returned to Venus Lighthouse. Yeah, the base of the lighthouse was flooded, so we couldn't get out. And that's when you gazed out to sea, as you promised Babby you would. Yes, and we saw an area wrapped in mist. I remembered how Babby said Lemuria was always covered in mist. I'm not sure, but I'm beginning to think that may be Lemuria. If it is, then Babby's life could be saved? Yes. Then I guess we have no choice but to go. Wait, let me get this straight. Is it just us that has to look out to sea, or is it like anybody who looks out to sea will see this misty thing? If they see this misty thing, they're idiots, because they've spent decades searching for Lemuria, and it's in plain sight. Ah! Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Alright, uh-oh. There we go. Then I guess we have no choice but to go. Good, then it's settled. I'll make arrangements for you to leave at once. But we have to find Trina first. That is the other reason I wanted to see you. To give you this. Ah, the black orb. Oh, isn't that... You will need it to sail Babby's ship. I thought the ship we saw at Ida Gimme was Babby's. His ship is here in Lalavero. So the ship at Peninsula was Saturos' ship. Perhaps, but we have no way of finding that out now. Yes, they're gone. But now we can sail the ship of the ancients. It certainly will aid us in our search for Trina. Babby told me the ship of the ancients is an incredible vessel. It will make your search for Trina easier. We appreciate it. But I want you to find Lemuria as soon as possible. We promised Babby we would find Lemuria. We will not fail him. Yes. The ship is docked at the edge of town. You will know it when you see it. Farewell, and bring back news of Lemuria. Did we just get the ability to travel on all water anywhere? Right on, Django! We finally get to see the ocean! To sea we go! It is time to depart. Yes! Thin Mint time. Thin Mint for celebration. Do we have to leave? Oh. Oh! Okay. I was told to let you in if you showed up. Oh, okay. There we go. Nice. Why can't Sam always stop me when I leave somewhere where the story progression is? Unknowingly. He would save hours if he did that. How much playtime do I have? Does it say anywhere? 27:13. Okay, yeah. Slightly under an hour per part. One of these is going to have something. Come on. They didn't just put these there. There's no way they just put these there. Arrgh. Ooh. Black orb. I was just getting to the best part of the song. Oh, there it is. It looks like it's finally time to leave Gondolin. It's so strange. We've been traveling for so long, and yet it feels like we've only just begun. Now that I think about it, so many things have happened. But our journey will be over as soon as we find Trina, right? Oh, no, no, no. What did you say? Our next journey? What journey is that? You didn't forget, did you, Sam? Maybe it's Sam's memory we need to work on. Our promise to Babby. Oh, Lemuria. I wonder what kind of place Lemuria is. We have to find Trina before going to Lemuria, don't we? I think so. I'm not positive about that. Yeah, that's important. At any rate, this will be our first time on the ocean. So this is the ocean Krated wanted me to see. The seas are very rough. Do you think we will be okay? If we can beat the fusion dragon, I think we'll be fine. This is a Lemurian ship. We'll be fine. Well, shall we then? To sea. Trina is waiting for us. Fearless leader, of course, is first on board. And Stella is the last one you would expect to be afraid of water. And away we go! Free open world exploration, boys. And girls. And Cooper. Wait. That's... What? What? That's it? The game's over? Alright, I guess I have no choice now. I'm gonna play Golden Sun 2. I'm not gonna do a channel update in this episode, but wow. How about that? Wow. I did not think the game would be over. I thought we would go and find everybody. And wow, well, how about that? Oh. Okay, Cooper has told me that we should not fret having only like 5 Mercury Gin and 5 Mars Gin. Because there's a way in the second to get replacement Gin that he's never done, but we should be able to do that. Wow. I can't believe I'm saying this, but thanks for watching the second Make Car Stumble. Wow. I mean, what a game. This game was awesome. My favorite part would have to be... I like the, I'm a big fan of the Mercury lighthouse. That was fun. I also liked that one desert with the whirlwinds where you douse them. That was great. I mean, really, this game just gets... It just got better and better as I played it, you know? Like, the end was the best part, and then everything, like, leads up to that, and it was great. So, for the just laying out some early goals for the second game. We have to go back to Lunpa, which I think I know what we do with that. We are going to get the invisibility cloak from Babby, and then we're going to be able to use that to sneak into Dodonpa's palace. That's one thing, and then also we're going to go exploring, find our Djinn, just go exploring all over the place with the ocean access. Wait, what? Oh, okay. And, so that is the data that we will send to the second game once we get that. Oh, wait. Is this... Oh, Kraden. How long will this island continue to drift? I don't know. I wish you could tell me. Sheesh! You're no help in times like this. Hey, I'm hungry. No, Wilford. Don't eat. That's bad for you. How can you think about food? I wonder what happened to my brother. I can't be certain, but it looks like they lit the Venus beacon. You don't have to tell me that. That's how we wound up adrift at sea, right? You are so cranky today, Trina. Well, I suppose you must be worried about, Cayman. Django and his friends must have been nearby, too. They probably were. I miss them. Django, Cayman. Alex! There's something I wish to show you. Walk this way. Oh, and there's their ship. That guy's ship. How do I read two words at once? Cayman loot! They're alive. They're alive! What is this? Alex, what happened? Okay, there we go. Okay. I was worried that I started saying this is the end of the game and it wasn't. Boy, oh boy! Wow. Okay. Without going into too much detail, I will say the second game is not going to start immediately after this. That's all I'm going to say for right now. Alright, thoughts on the game. So the big ones I'm comparing it to are Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy IV, and Final Fantasy VI. Music, I'd put it above Final Fantasy IV, below the other two. Story, it's above FF4 and below the other two. Let's see what else. Graphics, it's the best of all those, of course. Characters, I would say it's below FF6, but above the others. The battling, I actually have the battling at the top of those four. The battling is awesome. It's my favorite part of this game. I wish there were more challenging bosses, like more fusion dragons, but, I mean, the ones there were awesome. I don't think I've ever seen, like, a game with the bosses as good as these ones are. Now, I don't mean that, like, Final Fantasy VI has a couple, or Chrono Trigger maybe, has a couple bosses that are, like, better than any of the bosses in this game, but then it also has bosses that aren't. And this game's, every boss is great. I guess Tret wasn't incredibly difficult. Hold on, can I just... I'm just gonna keep it there if I can. What happens if I hit continue? I'm just gonna put it like this. Okay, good. I have at least 5 of everything, so I can get 2 replacement gin later. Yeah, the battling in this game were great. Oh, okay, so the bosses. The, like, average quality of the bosses is far higher than any other game I've played's bosses. There isn't an easy boss. Tret, I guess, is easy, but he's also the first boss you face, so you don't really know what you're doing. And then there's Saturos the first time you fight him, who's a great challenge. And then there's something in part 13. Which would that be? Let's see, what was I doing in part 13? That would be... Oh, there's, okay, there's one easy boss. It's the monkey in the forest, and he was just kind of a joke. But then, part 15, I believe, or whatever it is that we set out to see, the Kraken, that was an awesome boss fight. That was potentially my favorite. After that, no, I think there's less than 10 bosses, but every one of them, with the exception of arguably the ape, is a really tough boss and is very fun to play against. Fighting against bosses in this game is, well, okay, the only time I had as much fun as against a boss in Final Fantasy VI was against the Atma weapon. That was really the only time. That was the only time I was just frantically dashing to stay alive, all the while having to put out damage constantly to keep so I don't run out of magic by the time the battle's winding down. And that was, I mean, what an incredible battle that was. And just imagine that happened like 3 or 4 times out of the 8 or 9 bosses in Golden Sun. So that's very impressive. That's the thing I enjoyed most, the boss battles. The puzzles, I love the puzzles. They were really fun, especially when I was just stumped by them. But I mean, I did really well on the puzzles. It was the trivial things like exiting forest, casting whirlwind. Those were the things that stumped me. So for that, I mean, I'm tempted to say gameplay is better than than any of the other RPGs I'm comparing it to, and it's just because there's like so much you do in the gameplay, and let me try to elaborate on it. In Final Fantasy VI, or pretty much any typical JRPG, it's just all about figuring out where to go, what to do, and then it's just like talking to people basically. And I mean, not that that's bad. I mean, look how much I love JRPGs. I love all 3 of those games. Final Fantasy IV, Chrono Trigger, FF6. Like, when I put Final Fantasy IV pretty much at the bottom of those 4 games, like, I still love that game. It's an amazing game. But it's just, there's not as much, like, activity as there is in Golden Sun with the puzzles. So I definitely feel the difficulty level, oh, the Djinn are awesome. I love the Djinn system. That's a really great part. Like, how could I forget? How could I talk about Golden Sun and not mention Djinn? What's wrong with me? But I love the Djinn, and because there's so much you can do with them. If you're a novice player like me, the only sets you're comfortable with are all are mono element. Django only has Venus, Sam only has Mars, or maybe a Mercury or 2. Ardor only has Jupiter and Stella only has Mercury. But if you're like an experienced player, I would imagine you start moving around Jin and you have a ton of fun with that, finding all the new classes, finding new combinations that work. And so I think that's great. And I'm not one to talk about this, but I'm sure Cooper and White Rogue have thoughts that it really ups the replay value because you can do something new every time you play it. I definitely like the Jin system far more than the Espers. They just knock Espers way out of the ballpark. However, they just oh crap. I don't know. Well, they're way better than Espers, and Chrono Trigger FF4 don't have anything of the same party, same boat. As far as gameplay, just how it feels, I guess not, because I already talked about the gameplay, but just how the game feels, I don't know if I like this as much as the other games. Just the way it feels. And I don't know how to describe that. So honestly, I think it's just the fact that this is less talked about in the terms of all-time RPGs. Whereas when I picked up FF4, I was in the mindset, okay, I'm playing one of the greatest games of all time. I'm delving into a new genre that's, that's the most beloved, nostalgic genre ever. Here's the first game I'm playing with it. Everyone says this is a great game. Like, let's see what they're talking about. And so I just went through the game with the mindset, like, wow, this is what makes this game one of the best, one of the, just in the zenith, the highest lexicon of video games. And Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI are absolutely the same way. They just weren't the first JRPGs I played like that. This game, while just as great as those others, it's not a classic per se. It's on Game Boy Advance. It came out in the 2000s. It's just not really a classic. So I think that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the feel of the game. It doesn't have that, like, the status of those other games, and that's the only advantage they all share over it. I can't think of many things that I didn't like about this game, because all of the things that I didn't were my fault entirely. Like, I think my least favorite, the time I was least enthusiastic to play this game was when I was looking around Loonpa and I couldn't figure out what to do. That is really the only time I can think of where I was, like, legitimately not eagerly looking forward to filming each part. And again, it's like one of those dumb things. I just didn't go to the inn. That's the only reason that happened at all. So this is just, it's a wonderful game. If you haven't picked it up yet, I highly recommend it. I'm sure that I'm gonna play through it at some point again. I mean, I'm probably even gonna get it for GBA. Partially to act as if I'm supporting them, which, I mean, the game came out 12 years ago, so it's not like it's going to be crucial to sales. But I would want to feel like I'm supporting them. But more importantly, I'd like to have it, for like airplanes and vacations and stuff like that. It's just, I think it's going to be a great game in terms of replay value. So if you haven't played it yet, highly recommended. Hopefully it doesn't ruin it for you knowing the story and all that. But another thing that I should be proud of, I didn't touch the speed up button, not once in this entire LP. Which is another great testament to the game. Even when I was wandering around like that, I never felt, there were times where I felt so tired of just walking around, but I never felt the need to use the speed up button. Even when I was like backtracking when I had already played through stuff, I never touched the speed up button. So great job, Golden Sun developers, in making a game where I don't want to use the speed up button. And it's partially a matter of principle. I'm typically against using the speed up button for a game game that doesn't belong on the computer. But you know, sometimes it just you're sick of a part. You have to use the speed up button. But I never felt that need. So a very impressive game. I'm so glad I picked this to play. I also feel the length of the game is the length of the game is better than Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy IV, below Final Fantasy VI. Because, in Final Fantasy VI, the only reason for that is because you can essentially choose how long the game is. You can choose to go back and get all the secret characters, get all the big items, fight the dragons, do everything you want in the World of Ruin, and then go fight Kefka. Or, you know, if you're high-leveled enough, you could just walk right into his dungeon and beat the game. Whereas Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger, I talked about this in the last part of FF6, through the end, I felt like I was getting dragged along through the plot, and I wasn't really... I kind of thought the plot got a little bland at that point. Like as great as the stories of those games are, I feel that they drag along just a smidgen too long. I just don't know how to fix that. Whereas this game, I mean, I felt like it might be headed in that direction, which is kind of just natural for RPGs. You know, like we're gonna have to go out to sea, we're gonna find Trina, then we're gonna find Cayman, then we're gonna find, you know... But the game ended, and it was a little abrupt, of course, but it was... I mean, I'm also glad that I'm done with the game, to be honest. Like, and I don't want to say I don't want to play Golden Sun anymore, because I'm incredibly enthusiastic about playing Part 2. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be a blast. But like I'm glad this game is over, because I've been awfully busy lately, and you know, committing 2-3 hours of this a day when I have the chance is it's an awfully big time commitment. So it's going to be nice for me having all that free time. Of course, I chose to do this, and I still would choose it any day. Like it's what I love doing. I think I'm just about good with myself on talking about the game, so thank you so much for watching Let's Watch Makar stumble through Golden Sun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I really love this game. I really love this LP. I think I've only uploaded 16 parts right now, and I'm filming part 32. but I think I've done a much better job with the editing and filming aspects of this LP. You know, I love how I've been including references. I don't know if everyone else appreciates that as much as I do, but I really think that's awesome. I'm really glad I'm doing that. And I'm sure I'll have plenty of references in Golden Sun too. So I bid you adieu, and I bid you Makar out. I really hope you're around for Makar Stumbles Through Golden Sun 2. There's a channel update on the way, so you can find out then about, you know, what's going to go on, when that's going to be. And that's really it. I wasn't expecting the game to end this part. But I'm not upset that it did. So, for one last time, please allow me to introduce the great Wilford Brimley to see you out.